Hello everybody, this is Chris Bowles and today we're going to be doing Mr Blobby. Let me start the game going. Okay, so for those fortunate souls that aren't British who have no clue who Mr Blobby is, how can I say what he is? Okay, so Mr Blobby was a character on a BBC TV show hosted by the amazing, I use that in every sense of the term, Noel Edmonds, called Noel's House Party. Basically, as you see there, it's just a big pink blob, and he ran around annoying people, and apparently it was funny, but you know, this was the early 90s, and I really can't describe how bad Mr Blobby is. Anyway, so this game is based on the character. Mr Blobby actually had a British #1 in the charts. Look it up on YouTube if you really want your ears insulted. So this game was programmed by Paul Carter. Now more on him later. I'm actually kind of know him, and I've asked him a few questions about the game, which he's going to be kind enough to answer. So that'll be in Amigos article that goes along with this game. Now Mr Blobby is the same game engine as I think it's Super Trolls on the Super Nintendo. I had a quick play of this game earlier, and it works a lot better on keyboard than joystick because of all the buttons, so you can tell it was designed as a console game. So let's get the game going and you can see what Mr Blobby is all about. So there is Mr Blobby in all his awesomeness. So sorry, I was just saying on the microphone. So these three lives, basically Mr Blobby, Mrs Blobby, and I guess it's Baby Blobby. I have no idea what it was called. I had Amiga. What was I watching Mr Blobby for? Right, so here's the game. You basically have to go around. He's got an amazing floaty jump like you've never seen before. You have to go around and colouring everything in, kind of like, I don't know, quick style. That's me throwing custard. It's actually quite a an innovative game concept. The controls though are very floaty. It's just a shame that this idea had to be wasted on such a low rent property as Mr Blobby. Oops, there's a little candy cane. So there's three buttons really. There's jump, there's throw your custard, and there's eat. Eat seems to give you the scores. Level 2. It's where this shizzle gets real. So you've also got water here now. Slightly awkward to fill all the water in. You can see you've got to be jumping up all the time. But you know, unlike most Amiga games of the day, I've not died yet. So credit's due. That's probably because it's got some of its console heritage. Jeez, who would ever use the word heritage from Mr Blobby? Yeah, so what can I say about this game? The graphics are quite well drawn. It's a shame that the main character is a pink arsehole. Oh, has Mr Blobby died? I've got to be Miss Blobby now. Mrs Blobby, Miss Blobby. Oh, he's asleep now. So yeah, the graphics are quite well drawn. It's just a shame it has to be Mr Blobby themed. Oh. And the music, once again, quite well done. But once again, shame it's Blobby-esque. But you know what? How do I put the gameplay though? The gameplay is, it's not very taxing. Worst of all is it just feels a little bit floaty, just kind of could be tightened up. I've not played the Super Nintendo Trolls thing, so maybe that resolves some of those issues. I don't know. I do think the this colouring in things is a very neat idea. Oh, for flip's sake. I did play this earlier and got straight to level 3. And as usual, once the cameras are rolling, I lose all ability to play a game. So maybe Aaron and John aren't as crap as they look on their live streams. Maybe it's the pressure of the filming. Alright, now I can fill the level in. I have no idea if you can earn some of them blobbies back. I honestly got bored on level 3 last time. I'm not bored. I knew I was having to come back and play again, and I thought, well, I don't want to play this game more than twice in my lifetime. Oops. Strangely enough, I think this game engine would have made a great cover disc Christmas game. Just think, I've got nothing to throw. Just think, graphics this up. Yeah, put a bit of snow in here. All the makings of another classic Amiga Christmas cover disc game. Amiga was the golden age of the cover disc Christmas game. That's a neat effect as well. The kind of the windows. And that Dirty Harry Blobby. Take that, punk. Just a tiny bit of there. Die. Oh. Can't get scoffing little Blobby. Now I'm wondering, as a software guy, who in the company had to pay off to get a licensed game? So that'd be a question I'd be asking Paul. Yay! Celebrity design always reminds me of Nebulous. When I'm dead. Oh, music's actually slightly nebulous, like maybe try again. He continues. Come on, Blobster. helmet on. A hilarious comical helmet. The only way Mr Blobby can wear one. Now this level, that's what annoyed me. I don't think the platforms stand out very well from the background scenery. So you kind of sprint over vision. Accosted him. Oh. Sounds like one of my kids asking a question. Ooh. Why? Let's get up here. So far, it's not really much more I can tell you about such an amazing thing as Mr Blobby. I do urge for all you American listeners, never ever to look up Mr Blobby, never ever to listen to his Christmas number one, and most importantly, never ever look in the eyes of Noel Edmonds. He will take your soul. He recently claimed he could cure cancer via positive thinking. That's the type of strange, deranged man he is. He did used to own some really cool cars. I know he had a Ford GT40. Not really. I remember seeing it on the top here. Not really sure how he got into all that malarkey, but it's a short arse so he can fit him on. Boots pee me off. I will keep going till I die. I'm just that way inclined. Come on. Oh, I missed. Oh, the gargoyles. So I did I call that gargoyle, but no other gargoyle. There we go. Blobby lands back to full Technicolor glory. There's all the pagan symbols there. Don't know why. I'm sure nobody knows why. Lost in the midst of time. The evil mist has been banished. try. Love that. Oh, you bugger. Once again, it's kind of hard on some of these levels to know what are bits that you can walk on, what's the bits you can't. Yeah, it's just the days before play testing, really. Well, not play testing, sorry, audience surveys. Poor Bob has probably had about 3 weeks to write it. For the Doctor Who fans among you, is a blatant rip-off of K9. Just keeps coming alive. So the real question is, would you actually pay for this game in real life, using real money? You've been working on it, making your ass off in your paper round. The answer is almost definitely a no. One, it's Mr Bloody Blobby. No charge I want to be seen with a Mr Blobby. Anything. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, with that, I'm actually going to give in. Simply because I've got 2 more continues. I feel I've explored all the possibilities of the Blobby, so I hope you enjoy this game. I think the next games I'm going to be playing in the series are the initials, or the Ed the Duck. So can a character from a broom cupboard rip off Rainbow Islands? The answer is yes. Anyway, adios.
Support the Amigos podcast and keep the Amiga goodness flowing for just $1 a month. Visit our page at patreon.com/AmigosPodcast.